Hello, this is Jill from Paper Daisy Crafting. Thank you for joining me again today. I'm back today to show you the second part of my card. We made this on the previous video, so this is the card blank we made. You could actually just leave it at that. Actually, that's quite a nice card. Just write inside and send that off to someone. But my card, as you know, had a very interesting middle. So it had this pop-up section with the dancing frogs and the dancing bugs on the back panel. So I'm going to show you how to do that. It's very, very simple and just very effective, I think. So what are we going to do? Right, first of all, I'm going to get my frogs ready for the panel for the pop-ups. So I've already done two. I'm just going to show you how I did them. So I coloured them very similarly to how I coloured the frogs yesterday. So if you didn't see that part of the video, pop back and have a look at how I coloured. But I will just show you how I finish off. I'm just going to find something to lean on because the ink goes through here and I don't want to get on my desk. So I've coloured this frog so it's stamped in Memento ink, really important if you're using blends, and then I've coloured him all over with my light Granny Apple Green marker, and I'm now going to come in with the pointy part of my, what is this called? I don't know. We've got a brush tip and another tip, but I don't know what the actual tip is called. There must be a name for it. Someone will put it in the comments below. I'm sure you're all so clever, all the people watching my videos. Sometimes my mind just goes blank while I'm videoing. There we go. So I'm just colouring in his feet with the dark colour. I'm going to colour in his tummy. So this just gives you a bit of colour variation on him, which makes him look great. And just so easy with the blends, you don't get any harsh lines or anything. And then, so that was that, and then I just did a line down the edge here, just to show sort of a bit of shadow on him. I'm not terribly good at shadow effects, but this seemed to work quite well. You just do a little bit of shadowing on one side. Now you can see that looks quite harsh at the moment, but what the magic happens when you bring the light pen back in and just go over those those harsh edges, and you'll find that it will all blend together. It's like magic. I never tire of doing this. If you haven't already invested in some blends, then I don't know, maybe you've got a birthday coming up, you could ask for some. They really are fantastic. Some of you already got Copics and things, I know, so you don't need to buy our blends, but if you haven't got any, they really are fantastic. So there's my frog, and just a little bit of light daffodil yellow in his eyes. Okay, so that's done. Now, I didn't fussy cut this one quite so much. I left quite a big border around because I thought this is going to be quite delicate on these pop-ups. So what I did was I just left quite a thick white border. And I'll just quickly show you how I did that. So just go all the way round, keeping nice curved lines, no sharp angular lines, just all the way round, so that it's got a bit of a border. And I did experiment with this when I made the card, and I thought this actually looked fine, and there was actually no point in fussy cutting all the little tiny details. You might go mad trying to do that. I'm not a lover of fussy cutting really, so, and unfortunately there are no dies to go with this stamp set, as it's a Celebration stamp set. Right, so that's what I did. Also gives it a bit of solidity when you stick it on the panels. So there are my frogs. Now let's make the pop-up panel that our frogs are going to go on. So you need a piece of thin whisper white card, which measures 20 centimetres by 13.7 or 5 7/16 by 5 7/16 by 8 inches, and you're going to score at the middle. So in inches you're scoring at 4 inches, in centimetres you're scoring at 10. So you've got a card like a card blank scored there. Right, what I have then done is I have drawn a line that is from the fold is either 1 inch or 2.5 centimetres, and that's important. I'm then going to come back in with my ruler. I'm going to work in centimetres, but I will put the measurements on there for inches on my blog. And I'm going to mark here at 2 inches, 3.5 inches, 6 inches, centimetres, 2 centimetres, 3.5 centimetres, 6 centimetres, 7.5 centimetres, 10 centimetres and 11.5 centimetres. And then I'm going to cut along each of those lines up to the line that I drew on my card. So I'm just going to cut as straight as I can up to that line. like so. And these are going to give us the little hinges that our little frogs are going to sit on. There we go. And last one. And then before we do anything else, you're going to take each of those little tabs and just fold it one way and the other, because we want that bit to have a fold on, but we don't want the rest to have a fold on. And so if you wanted to make it nice and crisp, you could bring your bone folder in and just give that a bit of a fold, and do that on all three of them. So bend to the line that you've drawn, and then just fold like so, and then fold like so. And there we are. That's our pop-up mechanism. If I open, that's going to be like that, and that's where our frogs are going to go onto those, and then that closes without any problem. Okay, before I stick this into my card blank, a couple of things I want to do. First of all, I'm going to I'm going to stamp first of all. Now, the stamp that I'm using in the inside of my card, Have the Best Day Ever, is from a really useful little set which is called One for All. It's part of this stamp here, which was one stamp but which I have cut apart. I forgot to say that actually with the dancing frogs. I cut that one apart as well. I'm a bit of a demon for doing this. So this was the stamp, the frog. I actually cut the stamp off. So if you look in here, you can still see the unicycle here, and I just cut the frog off because I thought it would be more useful to have him without being on a unicycle than on a unicycle. And I've done the same with this stamp set. I love this greeting, Have the Best Day Ever. I don't always want it with a lady on a bicycle, and rather than masking or whatever, I know you can do that, it's just easier to cut it apart. If I wanted to put it together, it's really easy just to put it together. This will match up exactly, and you can put it back together on the block. So I'm going to take that stamp, Have the Best Day Ever. I'm going to still use a Memento black ink, even though it doesn't necessarily need to be Memento ink now, because we're not going to be colouring it. So there we go. Hoping that doesn't have you inked up. I hope that's okay. Right, fairly central, and stamp. There we go, Have the Best Day Ever. I love that greeting. And then I'm going to stick on a little piece of Designer Series paper, same one to coordinate with the one at the front down there. Okay, this is about 1 centimetre or ½ an inch wide. It's slightly longer than my panel. I'm going to use some of my glue up off my thing, otherwise that's going to go to waste. So just pick up some of the Tombow on there. And put that on there, and it's slightly longer because then I can put it on there and then I can trim it and I have a really, really neat edge. I can't bear things that don't quite fit. I think they look very unprofessional. So do that and then just trim off the excess. There we go. Right, now before I stick this back into my card, I'm going to stamp my bugs because I think it will probably be easier to do this than once it's in the card. So I've taken the bug from the stamp set, so it's this little bug here, butterfly I presume, or I don't know, and again Memento ink, and you can see I just randomly stamped them, but I tried to change the angle of the stamp each time when I stamped it. So I'm going to stamp one in the centre, and one, I'm going to turn the stamp slightly, stamp him there. I'm going to turn it again and stamp one there, and then again here, and again. They almost look like they're flying into formation, don't they? And there we go. And then we can colour those. Bring in my board again. So I'm going to colour with Pool Party first of all. I'm going to do the wings in Pool Party with my blends, and then come in with Bermuda Bay. I may not colour, I might just colour one of these to show you, and I'll come back and do the others later on. So colour that in Pool Party, then come in, I'm going to use the small edge here, the small end, to just colour in the outer wing in Bermuda Bay. Not actually going to do any blending here because we've got solid lines between these sections, but you could do blending on these if you wanted to. There we go. And I'm going to give him a green body, so come in with my light Granny Apple green and give him a light green body. And some yellow eyes. And you would, of course, colour all 5. I'm not going to do that on camera because I waste too much time of our filming time. And you only need to see me do one. Right, okay, so we've done that. So now what we're going to do, making sure that your folds are going the right way, you need some glue on both sides of this panel. So we need glue on here. So not too much glue. You can see I'm being quite sparing with it. And then turn over and do the same on the other side. Like so. And then we're going to pop it in our card blank. So take your card blank, make sure you've got it up the right way. Don't want to put it in upside down. So your card blank is the right way up. And then just make sure that the 2 folds where it's hinged go together. Of course, with the Tombow you'll get a bit of wiggle room, so you can wiggle it around if it's not quite right. And there we are. There's my pop-up mechanism. And then all that's left to do is to position your frogs on your pop-up mechanism. Just don't put them quite down to the bottom or you might have a problem closing the card. So there we go, there's one, and the other one's going to go there. So actually I'm going to put my glue onto my tab here rather than my frog, I think. You need to be careful though because you don't want leftover glue showing. So if you do that, make sure you put the frog over all the glue that you've got. Make sure it still closes before it dries, right? And then this one, who's going to go sort of that way, I think. So a bit more glue on here. And there you have it. One pop-up So Hoppy card. And wouldn't that be a fun card to receive? There we go. Oops, he fell off. Let's put him back on again. Just needs to dry a little bit. There we go. So I hope you've enjoyed my froggy project. I'm not a great lover of frogs, but I think they're quite sweet. And I really like this pop-up element of it. It'd be great for a children's card, I think, or even a man's card. Just really fun. So I hope you've enjoyed it. Like I said, if you want to get that set for free, the froggy set for free, So Hoppy Together, you need to, at the moment, until the 31st of March, you can spend £45 and you can choose this stamp set for free. So what's not to like? That's it for me today. Thank you for joining me. Hope you'll have a lovely day and I'll be back soon with another video. Thanks very much. Bye bye.